Hey, I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. In December 2019, after years of running this channel as a hobby, I decided to take a huge leap of faith and gave up my 9-to-5 to spend a year traveling full-time for YouTube. Then Corona hit. Bummer! Now, as the end of 2020 rolls in, I'm trying to catch up on my travel dream and take advantage of as many opportunities as I can from my home base here in Northern Europe. If you like cruise ships, theme parks, food, and hotels with totally unacceptable bathroom doors, you're in the right place. Subscribe if you're new and enjoy the adventures. It's September 2020, and here in Northern Europe, cruising has begun again under certain restrictions with a few changes and modifications. That's basically the same thing, isn't it? And my partner Marcus and I decided to take advantage of the opportunity to cruise again, and we went for a little upgrade. Check this out.
I'm a hustler, I just hit a lick. This that double shift, this that overtime. I'm on my job, player, you know I was born to grind. It's for my people standing up until they back hurt. It's for my people standing up to get the cash, sir.
No, that's making me seasick. And you would think that staying in a ridiculously luxurious
and kind of expensive
suite that was filled with all sorts of extras like a fully stocked minibar, crystal energy water, and a PS4 would be better in every way possible than just staying in a normal balcony cabin, you would almost be right. And two things before I continue this video. One, if you want to see the cabin in detail, I created a cabin tour. It's linked in the description below, or you can search my library to find it. And two, if any of this seems like I'm complaining about
spending 5 nights in a luxurious suite, but there's a couple of things that I don't like very much.
I don't mean it like that. This is amazing, and I probably will never get the opportunity to stay someplace like this again. I am making this video more with the intention to show you, listen, if you've always dreamed of staying in something like this and thought it would be so much better than the places where you usually stay, it's not necessarily like that. Get it? So let's start with this huge, luxurious panorama window, which is a huge window. If we were docked in port next to another ship, this is like a gigantic view into our cabin. And when you're staying in a balcony cabin, of course, if you've got the blinds pulled and there's a ship right next to you in port, people will be able to see into your cabin as well. However, in a balcony cabin, there's a sheer curtain that you can pull across. I mean, in every balcony cabin I've ever stayed in, there's been that possibility to pull a sheer curtain across, and then the sunlight still comes in. You can still kind of see out, but people can't really see inside. And here, you ain't got it. There are teaser sheer curtains here, but they only go that far. That's not gonna help. So if you want a little bit of privacy, or if you just don't want it to be so bright, the only options are great big open window or use the mechanics to close the blinds. Let's do that, shall we? Ooh. Almost done? And they're down. Well, that only took a minute. And now we can't see out at all. I mean, nobody can see in, but we can't see out at all either. And, you know, if you just wanted to do like a little peek to see what the weather's like outside, like you have to go like this. And in a normal balcony cabin, you would just, you know, pull the curtain aside, look what it's like. You could even open the door and let in some fresh air. Oh, fresh air. That's another thing. But here, it's like we're kind of locked in. And if I want to see what the weather's like outside, and maybe, you know, my partner's still sleeping, I have to go all the way up the stairs. Let's open the blinds again. Oh no, I seem to have left some official, very unofficial merchandise on the shades.
Quick, go to the Teespring store to save it. It's teespring.com/stores/very-unofficial-travel-guides. Yes, the name is way too long. Follow the link in the description below for your funny, I didn't get to go on my cruise, but I still gained 15 pounds. Thanks, Corona. T-shirt, your sassy deck chair reservation towel, and other fun travel-related merchandise which will help support the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. That's teespring.com/stores/very-unofficial-travel-guides. Quick, before it's too late.
And one question I've pondered while staying here is what happens if the machine breaks, you know, like the motors that pull that up and down? I think then you're stuck. Then it's either totally open or totally closed because I can't see any kind of manual system override here. Like I said, I'm not complaining. This isn't any reason why I would never do this again. The cost. That's the reason why I would never do this again. But I'm just trying to point things out that like are not necessarily better. In a balcony cabin, you want to see what it's like outside, you just throw the curtains open. Good morning. You want to see if it's warm outside, you just open the door and stick your head out. Here, can't do that. And that brings me back to the general topic of fresh air. If we compare to like the three main kind of cabin types, inside cabin, ocean view, and balcony, with an inside cabin and an ocean view cabin, you also can't open a window or a door to let any fresh air in. So that's something that a lot of people always have when they cruise. If you're in a balcony cabin, however, that's one of the really great things about it is that you can just open the door and let in fresh air for all the reasons you might want fresh air. Maybe you want to see what the temperature's like outside. Maybe you want to just enjoy the smell of the ocean. Or maybe somebody in your cabin had a dinner of chili poppers and beer
and ripped a really nasty fart.
So if we compare this to the three other sort of main kind of cabin types, that would be inside, ocean view, and balcony. If you've got an inside cabin or an ocean view, you also don't have the possibility to open a door and let fresh air inside. And you would think that staying in this amazing luxurious suite would also offer you the opportunity to let in fresh air, but nope. If we want to let in fresh air, somebody's got to go up the stairs and hold the door open up there, but mostly what happens is the air from down here gets sucked up there, and it's not that the air from up there comes rushing down here. Oh, look, a fish farm. So when it comes to the aspect of fresh air, that's another thing where I would have to say I like a balcony cabin better than this. Not complaining, just pointing it out. Here's another thing. There's this tablet PC that basically controls everything in the room, from the temperature to the lights to the blinds, and call me old-fashioned, but sometimes I just want to turn on a light. I just want to flip a switch and have a light go on or off. I've got mood 1, mood 2, mood 3, turn them off, dim them, change the color. I just want to flip a switch and have it be light. I don't need all this. And here's something specific that I talked about in the entire suite tour that's specific to this suite, but I just don't understand. In the back of this really luxurious, awesome bathroom is the crapper. And there is no light switch in here. There's no light switch here either. The light switch to turn on the light in there is here. You cannot offer me free minibar and free drinks everywhere on the ship as part of the concierge level service. And then when I gotta do my duty, expect me to remember that I have to turn on the light here before I walk all the way back there. It's not gonna happen. And it hasn't happened like 4 times already on this cruise, and it's frustrating. I feel like a failure. I don't wanna feel like a failure in my suite on a cruise. I just wanna turn on the light and have a good poop. Ooh, it's getting bright. Here's another thing. If you've ever been on a cruise, you know that the cabin stewards, the people who come to clean and tidy up your cabin when you're gone, are usually super friendly and very outgoing, and they do an amazing job. It has been no exception on this cruise either.
However,
even when you're staying in a normal balcony cabin, sometimes I just find it a little bit tedious that every time I run into them in the hallway, we have to do this like small talk for a couple minutes. I know, they're just doing their job, they're being friendly, showing interest, but how many times can you say when you're on a cruise, yeah, we're just going to breakfast. Yes, we slept well. Yes, we had a great lunch. Oh, we had a fun day in port. I know that they don't really care. And I'm not saying that I feel like they should ignore us, but I just don't need to have small talk with them every time I walk past. I realize I'm risking sounding very rude by saying that. But if you've been on a cruise, I hope you understand what I mean. Sometimes it just gets to be a little bit too much. Sometimes you just want to leave your cabin and get to where you're going. And it's like living in an apartment building and having a chatty neighbor. You know, if you run into them in the hallway, your journey's going to take a couple minutes longer, and you might not have those minutes. Well, here in this suite level, it's like, take that times 5. I feel like this dude has some kind of like buzzer on the door set up, and when we get close to leaving, he shows up in the hallway. And then comes the questions that you know are gonna come. Oh, did you guys sleep well? How was your breakfast? Your lunch? How was your dinner? What did you do this afternoon? Is everything okay? Can I bring you anything? And on the one hand, like I said, it's nice to have that level of service and to have somebody paying attention. But on the other hand, sometimes I just want to walk down the hallway and not have to discuss my breakfast. And because of the service level being even higher here on this suite floor, it's just really extreme. I've noticed it being really extreme. There is no leaving this suite and sneaking past him in the hallway. None of these reasons, not a single one of them, are a reason why I wouldn't stay in this exact same suite again. If I had the time and I had the budget, I would do this again. But the budget for me is the biggest factor. For what we spent on this suite, and by the way, I mentioned it in the cabin tour as well, all this is still cheaper than our balcony cabin was on the Disney Dream cruise ship. I feel like for the amount of money we spent on this, I would rather do 2 cruises in a balcony cabin than 1 cruise in this. And that's why most likely I probably won't cruise in a suite like this again.
And definitely not on Disney.
What do you think? What do you think, Michelle? I think I'm gonna wrap this video up and grab me a cold beer out of the minibar. Pet the snail, of course.
Good boy, or girl, or non-binary creature.
Go up to our gigantic terrace where Marcus already is sitting and watch the beautiful scenery of Finland cruise by as the sun sets. That doesn't suck. Use the comments below to let me know what you think of this video and if you would like to stay in something as ridiculously luxurious as this, or if you prefer it simple and basic. And I hope that by watching this video you realize that this is all not necessary, and that there are certain things about it that are even worse in a way. See you soon.